This is Twit.
The big new item this week is Google Drive Add-ons. Think about these like Gmail Labs features. They're add-ons, extensions to Google Drive, not to Chrome the browser, but in Google Drive. So in Google Docs, in the new version of Google Sheets, there is a new add-ons menu. This is actually rolling out right now, and I'm not seeing it in my Google
I got
apps.
it.
Oh, you got it. Great, Jeff.
Yep.
There's a new add-ons menu. So you click on the add-ons menu, you select Get Add-ons, and that's where you can install add-ons. And these are basically just little new features that are some developed by Google, some developed by partners that add functionality to Google Drive. They've got add-ons that translate the selected text, find synonyms, create a table of contents, insert maps, basically adds a lot of different kinds of functionality.
So where will we see this again? How do we see if we have it?
On the top of Docs.
Yeah, so you have to be in Docs or Sheets, the new version of Sheets. There will be a menu item, add-ons, next to Tools, right, Jeff?
Yeah, up top.
So how do I get in Docs?
Yeah, like create a new doc.
Drive.
Just
Drive.
create a,
Drive.
Oh, I don't have to be in Docs. I don't have to be specifically in Docs.
Hold on.
Yeah, you do have to be like in a doc.
Okay, I'm in a doc.
There's
new
the menu.
add-ons. It's right there. Look at it. It's how exciting.
The best.
What are the best?
Drive has trace changes.
Oh, that's huge.
Which,
see,
all the irony of having had that in Wave, and they never added it in here. Finally, it's through an add-on.
Wow. Now, these are free, or some of them aren't?
Yeah, so I think that some of these services actually may be paid for, but I believe these add-ons are free.
I think the fax one, for example, charges you.
Yeah,
but this is like putting, you know what, this is directly competitive with Word. Track changes is a feature Microsoft Word has had for years, but was always missing for Docs. That's great.
It's a translate right within Docs. You can add a map within Docs. You can do a conference call around a doc.
Oh, this is great.
Very cool.
You could have a Google Sheet, for example, of names and addresses, and select all the addresses and generate a Google map with an add-on.
And then they enter the add-ons menu, so they'll be there. Wow, this is
they'll
really
be there
great.
as they get released. Lifehacker did a rundown of the best add-ons that are available right now. Hello Fax is one of them that Jeff just mentioned. You can send a fax directly from Drive with the Hello Fax. Mapping Sheets, which is what I was just saying. You can select a bunch of addresses and make a map. Easy Bib, which creates bibliographies using MLA, APA, or Chicago style. You just select your sources and citations, and it makes it. There's an Uber Conference, MindMeister, track changes, tons of stuff here. So this is a really, really big change. And and I love this. I love the way Google has this history of providing these hosted apps, but then creating hooks for developers to create extensions to them, much like Labs. But what I like about this is that it's open, obviously, to external developers, or at least their partners.
What do you write these in?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? That's a good question. They haven't exposed, as far as I know, they haven't exposed an API or an SDK for these. I think that they reached out to partners, and now on this initial release to see what they can get, and hopefully they are going to make it. I would love to see a store for this kind of thing, much like the Chrome store, the web store. But right now it's just selected partners and Google creating these features, and that was always my gripe with Google with Gmail Labs, is that those lab features only came from inside Google. But it's complicated to make extensions to a hosted app like that. So yeah, really cool stuff. That was the big new thing this week.
Biggie.
Look at this. You can sign docs with HelloSign, which gives you legally binding signatures in docs.
Well, if they accept it, but yeah, you can just put a signature on, and because I have a fax machine somewhere, and I have to plug it in and plug it into the phone line, because I only have one phone line now, and it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
And so now I don't even have to fax. I don't have to print out and scan the document and all that kind of stuff. I can just sign the document online with this, and it's great.
It's
so
really
great.
neat.
Yeah, I send the fax maybe once or twice a year, and that kind of thing is so
HelloSign is the same people as do HelloFax. I'll have to add that too. Wow. Charts. I like the Pro Writing Aid. It'll detect plagiarism as well as errors, grammatical mistakes in your writing. Consistency check. This is really neat.
Yeah, Avery has a mail merge feature.
Yeah, mail merge.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
Charts. So I could see you could not only get to, this is what Microsoft Office should do. You could get to all of the power of Microsoft Office, but the user controls the complexity by just adding the add-ons they need and adding it to the menu. So
now imagine, for example, that screenwriters could do an add-on for formatting scripts.
Right. Well, I'm sure they will.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of things.
This is really neat.
It's very neat. And it's so quiet, right, Gina? It just came out with a whisper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It did. It's actually it's pretty incredible, and it was pretty quiet. And this goes so far beyond things just like templates. Like I'm thinking, I would love to see something like something that connected help outs, for example, to Drive. Like, you have some of those review. There's one add-on that lets you get approval from your team. Like, yeah, this document's good to go, the check mark. But I'm just thinking about, like, say, writing your resume, that kind of thing. You can start off with a template, but then to have others review it, or translations, also, translation review. I mean, in so many situations you want to collaborate with trusted advisors or friends, or maybe even strangers, just to get help with something that you're writing. And this feels like a step toward that.
Create a conference call within a document. Here's Code Pretty, formats code blocks as a pretty printer. And
oh man, this is so much like
nice.
Wave. I actually had made the connection that this was very Wave-like, but this is like the widgets and add-ons that you could build into a Wave.
Yeah. Memories.
Yeah.